Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. It is Tuesday, so you know what that is. It's Transformational Tuesday. Today is the day we talk about ways to create positive change in our lives. And while life is changing constantly and change is inevitable, what impacts how we end up, our outcomes, is how involved we are in change, how intentional we are in creating the change we need to see in our lives. And I'm going to talk to you about three primary keys to change. Before I do talk to you about these three primary keys to positive transformation, positive change, positive outcomes throughout life where you literally can get it consistently, I want to remind you that on the 30th of this month, we are doing an AI webinar. Well, I am doing an AI webinar. I have been heavily engaged in developing an understanding of AI for over the last 4 years. I have pulled together some of my colleagues and friends who specialize in the tech industry and have been talking to me about this long before it became mainstream conversation about where it was going. And I'm like, it's not going to get there. And they're like, dude, it's coming. You might as well get ready for it. And the point where I sit up and said, okay, obviously it's coming, I decided that, okay, I need to get ahead of it. I need to learn about it. I need to determine how I'm going to use it. And to give it some context, Goldman Sachs posted a report that stated that they anticipate or project that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to eliminate or replace 300 million jobs over the next couple of years. The good thing is it's going to create opportunities for new jobs, new ways of doing business and earning revenue, but we have to get ahead of it. And there are so many different ways that you can use generative AI and open AI to create revenue, to strategize for businesses, to create business plans, to create revenue strategies, and so many other things. It is virtually limitless. And the new 4 model, Model 4, is unbelievably robust. And I'm going to teach you a number of different ways of how to use AI to leverage it to monetize your ideas, to monetize your business, to expand and scale your business. If you don't have a business, I'm going to actually show you how you can use AI to create a business. And I'm going to give you free my number one course right now, the course that's the hottest out of all of them, my online course, the 7-day online business launch course. It's a $599 course, but for the people who register for this AI webinar, I'm going to give it to you because when you hear all of these different ways that you can use AI to generate revenue, you're going to want to jump out there. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to take the 7-day online course and actually use that to create your space online. And then the beauty about the 7-day online business launch course is it's designed to wash and repeat. It's not a one-time, well, this is what I'm going to do and I got to stick with. It's about creating multiple streams of income online. And now you're going to have AI at your side. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're doing it on June 30th, but the registration ends Saturday. And I'm only accepting the first 50 people because I want a small class, because I'm going to do Q&A. We're going to talk about your visions, your dreams, what you want to do. And we're going to talk about how AI is going to play a role in that and how you can use it. We are going to really search out some things. So we're going to spend some time together on the 30th, and I'm excited about it. And I want you to be excited about it, because while it can be scary and while there are some chances to really abuse this thing, there are some chances to really take it and do something exceptional and extraordinary with it. And the more people who decide to be on the positive side of that equation, the better we're going to come out as a society. So I'm excited about that. The link to register for this course, which is only $197, trust me, there's literally going to be an opportunity to earn that $197 back that day. Now, as an added bonus, I'm going to enter every person who registers into a drawing, and I'm literally going to select one person. This is probably the only time I'm going to do this year. I did it once last year. I'm going to select one person that I'm going to gift my platinum coaching package to. Now, that is 1 year, 52 sessions minimum with yours truly. It's a $15,000 value. I'm literally going to give, somebody's going to get it. The crazy thing is, I announced this a couple of days ago, and the people who have registered so far are all old clients. They get it. But look, and I know why they're there. They're there for the AI, but they're there trying to get that platinum package. But it is what it is. Whoever gets names gets pulled. You don't have to be there to win. If you can't make it, it's going to be recorded. So there's going to be a playback. You'll get to watch it. You'll still get all the information. You'll get to hear all the Q&A that took place, and your name is still in that bag. Whoever gets pulled will be announced live during the webinar, and you will be contacted directly by me via email and congratulated and introduced into my world. And that's a ride. We're going for a ride, but you're going to like where we end up. I'm excited about it. Anyway, that's that. So let's talk real briefly. And briefly for me ain't briefly for everybody else, but ride with me for a minute. Just ride with me for a minute, because I want to really help you out with that. So there are 3 keys. There are so many principles associated with positive transformation, but there are 3 keys that if you can get these 3 keys, everything else seems to fall in place underneath one of them, and you can really truly get on in life. The first key is self-reflection and awareness. It's real hard to do the things you need to do for yourself when you are not aware of who you are at the moment, what you want to become, and where you are now versus where you need to go. And this introspective examination has to take place from a place of true honesty. It has to be you looking at yourself and being honest with yourself. Now, this isn't about beating up on yourself. This is not about tearing yourself down. This is not about talking about how horrible and whatever you are, or however stupid decisions. This is about saying, this is where I'm at. This is why I can't get to ABC. This is why I haven't been able to raise my level of quality of life. This is why I haven't been able to get my hands on my finances. This is why I haven't been able to secure and sustain a healthy relationship. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to say, okay, what role am I playing in the outcome? Because let me explain something to you, and I want you to really understand this. And this is the foundation. You are the only common denominator in the whole totality of your life. No matter how many relationships you've been through, and no matter what the outcome of those relationships, you were the only person that was in all of the relationships. No matter what's going on with your finances, no matter how many people you've listened to and they gave you advice and it didn't work out, you're the only common person. You're the only person. You're the common denominator. You are the common denominator in your life, meaning that you are the driving force of change in your life. If you don't like the outcome, change what's going on with you. You automatically change the outcome, no matter what the numerator is. The numerator is a variable. The numerator, you plug it, you pull it, but the common denominator is the thing that you're looking at. Who is that thing in your life? Now, obviously, at the core, if you have a faith system, God is the force, but God is the driving force, not the denominator. You are. And so then what must you do? You must look at yourself and say, okay, how did I get here? And then you ask those questions and you say, okay, I could have done this different. I could have done that differently. And you ask yourself, how does a person who is having the things that I desire, doing the things I want to do, living how I want to live, what are they doing? What type of person? Because remember, I've told you multitudinous times that it's not what you want in life that you get. It's who you are. It's what you're capable of doing. Because if you were capable of doing it and you want it, you would have it. So then you have to say, okay, I don't have it because I haven't developed the capacity for it yet. I haven't developed the mindset for it. I haven't developed the habits for it. I haven't developed the practices and patterns that come along with it. I am still operating outside the confines of the type of behavior that produces those types of results. And so then what must you do? You must ask yourself, what do I need to do? Well, one of the things you do is in understanding that There are some things that I need to do. There are some things that I need to change. There are some ways I need to be thinking, some things I need to be saying, some things I need to stop saying. Your self-talk is so powerful. Watch how you talk to yourself about yourself. Now, look, so then you look over and you find somebody that's doing what you're doing. You try to find the person that's killing the game and you look at them, but then you go and find another person that's killing the game and you look at them and you say, what are the common variables in their behavior? You're going to find out that while the average person in the US reads one book a year, the top performers in this country read 4 books a month. Well, we understand that the accumulation and acquisition of knowledge is the beginning of wisdom, but it's also the beginning of the capacity to expand one's thinking, one's assessment of what's possible. A bunch of people aren't engaged in something because something deep down inside of them, there are these core limiting beliefs that they have developed over time that's telling them they can't do it. So they're sitting there and they're going, you know what? I would love to do that, but I come from, or I used to, or I went this and I made this mistake. I was incarcerated. I used to do drugs. I come from poverty. I come from abuse. I've got ADHD. All these different things have you thinking because of XYZ, I can't do this, but that's not the case. See, nothing will be held from the one who applies themselves, who opens up the gift, and everybody has a gift. Somebody's got to open up the gift inside of themselves and say, you know what, I'm going to exploit the gift. I'm going to use the gift in order to do great things. And in doing great things, I'm going to be able to elevate myself. And in elevating myself, I'm going to be able to elevate others. And so what happens is in this thing, I decide, you know what? I'm going to do what they're doing. They're reading. I'm going to read. What are they reading? Okay, they're not reading that bull crap. They're not watching that bull crap. They are reading this. They are watching this. They are studying this. They are praying on this. They are meditating on this. This is the thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Paul told the people in Philippi, says, whatever things are pure, whatever things are noble, whatever things are good report, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are just, meditate on these things. See, we're thinking about the wrong things so often that they're contaminating our faith. They're contaminating our expectations. They're contaminating our ability to reach beyond what we can see, to attach ourselves to the things that are possible beyond human vision. And that's why we can't get past it. But we're going to have to do that. So then, but after this introspective examination, after this point of awareness where I know where I'm at and I know where I need to go, I know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, I need to change those things. So systematically, I'm going to move into this new pace and phase of development. One of the things I do with my clients, talking about the platinum package a little earlier, one of the things I do with my client is over time, I give them things to do that develop habits that in themselves produce results. See, I don't have to teach you everything. I just have to teach you how to behave in situations and carry yourself. And you'll teach yourself by way of observation and experience. But what you cannot do is think you can sit static, think the old way, behave the old way, and get something new. Then what's next? Goal setting and action planning. You got a lot of daydreamers sitting on dreams. Nothing wrong with daydreaming. It's a beautiful thing because it's in the daydream that the vision is illuminated. It's in the daydream that the impossible is observed. And it's in the daydream that the ideas of things not yet accomplished or seen and viewed as possible come. See, somebody had to be thinking about flying something where people could ride in it and get different places. Like the Wright brothers, they had to be thinking it, they had to be dreaming it, they had to have a vision. Somebody had to sit up and say, you know what, it's dark in this room, I'm tired of burning candles, I'm gonna do something that uses electricity that stays on and that don't have to keep lighting candles. Somebody had to sit up and say, you know what, I want to talk to somebody in another city and I don't want to send a telegram, I want to actually hear their voice. Somebody had to say, well, we don't even need those wires anymore, we're going to be able to talk to them without the wires, we're going to use cellular signals, and on and on and on. We are where we are. You are looking at a video of a person sitting probably not in the same city as you, hearing them in live time because somebody looked beyond what was currently happening in the current reality and decided that they were going to pursue the impossible. So there's nothing wrong with daydreaming. The problem with daydreaming is not stepping out of the daydream and creating a plan of action that you can move towards the dream. See, a lot of people have a daydream and never touch the dream. The goal of life is to touch the dream. The goal of life is to live the vision. The goal of life is to get to places that people think impossible. And by the very nature of your own success, give them permission to do the same. You weren't designed to play small. You weren't designed to be average. You weren't designed to struggle. You weren't designed to go through day after day, month after month, year after year of survival. You were designed to step out into a space and pave and carve and plant and put your stamp on something so emphatically that your name becomes written in the annals of time as the person who. But so many of us take our potential to the grave. That's why the great Dr. Miles Monroe used to say that the wealthiest place on the planet is the cemetery, because you go to the cemetery, you're going to find books not written, companies not started, collaborations not done, ideas not searched out, inventions not created, because people set on the dream. Yeah, see, I need to be aware of where I'm going. I need to have the ability to examine myself. And I do that daily. What did I do yesterday? Where did I grow yesterday? What opportunities did I miss yesterday? I do that. And then I have to have a plan of how I'm going to get from where I'm at now to where I know I need to be. And it's a constant journey of next level living. In other words, it's always about the next level. Get there, celebrate, pat yourself on the back, get some joy out of it, and then set the course for the next level, because you are growing for a purpose of touching a dream. And there's this idea that there's one dream. No. So you touch a dream and the vision illuminates the next one. You touch a dream and the vision illuminates the next one. You can't see the one beyond this one because you haven't touched it yet. It's like those things you ever walk down a hall like in a storage facility, and only the light in the area that you're standing in is illuminated. So as you walk down the hall, lights start to come on one at a time. It's made to conserve energy, but what it's doing is saying until you occupy space, you don't get to view what's in the space. You're going to have to approach the space in order to see what's in the space, and you can only do that by touching the dream before it. And finally, continuous learning and growth. I've kind of touched on that already, but if you're not constantly and incessantly searching out ways to grow, one of the things that's an absolute must for me every day of my life is I've got to grow. I cannot be the same person that woke up that morning. And how does that happen? I read. I read. It's when I tell people what I'm about to tell you, everybody says you didn't do that, you can't do that. And it's automatically, anytime you tell somebody you've done something that in their mind they can't do or they can't fathom anyone else doing, it's automatically impossible. And as long as you keep writing the narrative of impossibility, you'll keep running into things that are impossible for you. You got to take that out of the way and say, just because I've never seen it before, just because I've never observed it before, just because I've never heard it before, doesn't mean it hasn't happened. For over 20 years, since 2000, I've read 100 books a year. Now, before I tell you about how, I'll say that in many instances, some of these books have been the same books. I've read many books, as many as 10 times, but I'm going to read a minimum of 100 books a year. And I do that simply by ensuring I read a minimum of 2 books a week. Now, I started this out when I was first went to seminary. And my goal was to understand things, and there was this one historical figure in theology, John Wesley, who is the founder of the Methodist Church. He was the catalyst of the Methodist movement. He was known as the great revivalist. He brought evangelism back to the forefront. It was literally on a decline, and he single-handedly, without all of the tools you have now, before phones, before all that, you were writing letters that took weeks and months to get places, to communicate. And he still was able to do this, he and his brother Charles. But John Wesley once said that he needed to have a greater understanding. He committed to reading 100 books in a year. And so I decided I'm going to do that. I'm going to read 100 books this year. And I set out and I did it. And obviously, there's a couple things. When I started doing it, I was not a speed reader. I've always been a good reader because I write, and I've always been a writer and a reader. So I've been reading all my life. But over time, I said to be even more effective with all the things I have to do, I'm going to learn how to speed read, which really helps me. The other thing that helps me is I have an eidetic memory, so I don't have to keep going back. I can pick up things, I can read it and hold it. Something that's been a gift I've had for a long time. But the thing is, people literally don't go out to learn. You don't have to read. There are videos now. I prefer reading because it imprints on the brain differently. Now, because I have an eidetic memory, I can convert what I read into vivid imagery, which then locks in and holds better. But I like reading. I like taking the words. I like the interpretation that comes along with it. I like the way it challenges you to think. But that is, in essence, what you got to do. You've got to want to know something. You've got to want to grow. The one thing I wake up, well, there are a bunch of things I wake up thinking, but the one thing I wake up knowing is that I don't know everything, that I haven't arrived, that there isn't, there isn't this place I'm going to get to and then I become this all-knowing guru. It's every day. Wake up, meet the challenge, learn, grow. And that's what I've challenged myself to do. And that's what I'm challenging each and every person who watches this video to do, is you have got to wake up in your mind, sit up and say, you know what, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on in my life. This is how I am going to get to where I'm going. You've got to know where you're at, know where you're going, ask yourself the best way to get there, be willing to get with people who can get you there. My goal as a international life strategist, performance psychologist, and therapist is to compress years into months and weeks. It's to take what it would normally take a person years to do and help them compress it into a year or less. And it's possible. It takes commitment. There's nothing easy about being on top. There's nothing easy about winning in life. There's nothing easy about finishing the course. There's nothing easy about getting the things that you say you want in life. If it's worth having, you're going to have to go get it. If it's worth living, you're going to have to go get it. If it's worth holding on to, you're going to have to go get it. All the things that have value in this life are going to require you to put some skin in the game. It's going to require you to invest time, energy, effort, and in many instances, money to hold it down and to be sure that you can consistently sustain it. It's important for you to understand that if you want to be the best version of yourself, it's not going to come with you sitting down and just chilling. It's not going to come with you just sitting around and watching what everybody else do and commenting on posts about this and that. It's going to come with you sitting down, taking a real hard, long look in the mirror and saying, okay, what's next? What am I going to do with myself? What is it that I really want? And then you got to ask yourself and be honest with you. How bad do I want it? Do I want it enough to go the distance? Do I want it enough to make some sacrifices? Do I want it enough to invest myself for a significant period of time? But here's the question that I ask myself anytime that I decide that I'm going after something. Am I willing to go the distance? People don't get on because they don't finish. People don't get on because they won't go the distance. They go halfway and they meet some difficulty and they start blaming God and the devil. It must not be God's will for me to have it. The devil show is busy. No, let me tell you what it really is. You sure are lazy. You sure aren't committed, because I'm gonna tell you something. Nothing good will be withheld from you. No thing shall be impossible for you. It's God's promise, and the devil doesn't have power over anything that does not surrender to it. So then what is it? It's you not doing what you should be doing. It's you not standing on the things you should stand on. It's you looking up and saying, man, this is too hard. I'm going to go back to what I know. And that's comfortable. It's not what I want, but it's comfortable. I know what I can expect. It doesn't ask a lot of me. I just get up, I go to work, I do what I'm told, I do what I show up here, I go there, show up on church on Sunday for those who go to church. I I show up to mosque. Those who go to mosque, I show up here to the temple, wherever it is you're going. You show up there, do put my little 2 hours in. I'm out, and then I'm going on. And I'm good with that. And then you sit up and you wonder why you're miserable, why you're fighting off depression, because God put this void inside of you that can only be filled with purpose. And when you don't fill it with purpose, you could try to fill it with a bunch. There are people filling it with sex. There are people filling it with emptiness. There are people that are filling it with traveling. There are people that are trying to, if you're not walking in your purpose, if you're not doing the thing you were literally designed to do, you'll hide in your comfort, but you'll never be fulfilled. And as a person who has been called to the bedside of people who are transitioning numerous times, as a member of the clergy and as a psychologist, the one thing I can tell you, one of the most terrifying looks that I've ever seen is a person that knows they're about to leave this place and didn't live their life on full, that they're about to leave things undone. I see people who have walked that life and went hard in the paint, and they're almost welcoming the transition. They're looking like, I done did my thing. And then you got those people that are just like, man, what's next? And then you got those people that know I didn't do it. I didn't do what I was given to do. Oh my God. But it's too late. Walk that vision. Walk and live in your purpose. Dare to dream big. Put down those dwarf goals and those colorless dreams. Pick up something so big that you tremble when you think about it. And then trust that God will empower you to do it. And then use that empowerment to walk out in it and carry it out. Walk it out, finish it, go the distance. That's it. Those are the three keys. I'm going to challenge you on that. Stand up and go out and make it happen. Stop making excuses. Stop sitting up and thinking that. Let me tell you something I learned actually watching a movie, but it is so powerful and it's so true. Here's the beautiful thing about destiny. The more you try to stop it, you only ensure that it happens. God gave you a destiny. It's paved. The only one that can stop it is you. The only common denominator in your life is you. So you determine if you're going to walk it out. You determine if you're going to live it. You determine if you're going to finish the race. It's about finishing. It's about going the distance. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. On that note, look, I'm going to get ready to get out. Like I said, if you want to learn how to use AI to take your dreams and visions to the next level in business and just monetizing ideas, there's so many things out there. There's so much going on. There are places literally online that pay. Look, I'm going to share some things with you that are going to give you keys of things that you can do to really set yourself up. But the webinar is actually taking place on the 30th, but registration ends Saturday. I'm only accepting 50 people. I am going to give you my 7-day online business launch course so that you have something that you can actually work with. Because I promise you, when you attend this webinar and you're sitting up there and you're watching all these and hearing all these different ways that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be able to assist you and how you can leverage it. If you don't have a business, you're going to start having things go through your head and you're going to want a way to do it. So I'm literally giving you this $599 course free for attending. And the big thing is everybody who registers is going to have their name put in a hat or a bag, a box or whatever for a drawing. I do this normally like once a year. I did it once last year. This is probably going to be the only time I'm going to do it this year, but I'm going to pull one name out of those who register, whether you attend or not, because I'm going to record it so the people who can't make it can play it back. But whether you make it or not, whether you actually show up or not, if you register, your name goes in a hat. And I would love to have the person that's there win it. For whatever reason, the last 2 years, the people who win aren't there, but I want the person there because I want to see how it feels to know this. But I'm going to literally pull one name and I'm going to give that person my platinum package. That's 1 year, minimum of 52 sessions, everything under the sun. I mean, from A to Z, we go get it and we get the vision done. in a year. And that's my platinum package. It's priced at 15,000. It's set up for normally the people who get this package are people who are already on a certain level. They are going after it. I have had somebody get a loan to get it, and they haven't regretted. Matter of fact, I think we're on our third go now. But it is for what it is. But you get it for free just by registering for this thing. The AI thing alone, I think is crazy dope. I just think that what's going on with it, like I said, I discovered it some years ago because I got tech friends. I have a number of tech friends. One of my clients is a programmer. And so they write programs. So I've been hearing about this stuff. So I started asking questions 4 or 5 years ago. Look, what does this mean? How is this going to happen? And then Goldman Sachs comes out last year and says that AI is going to literally eliminate or replace 300 million jobs, 300 million jobs worldwide. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty substantial. Then you start saying, but it's going to offer opportunities to create other streams of revenue. So it's about getting ahead of it. So I decided, what ways can I use it? So I started using it the moment it became available. And as it has progressed, I've been able to use it more and more. And so I decided, hey, let me teach people, how to view this. And it's not a toy. We use social media to play. We use AI to play. Everything's no, it's an instrument. It's a tool. It's only a toy because you're playing with it. Stop playing with this stuff. Start using it. Start advancing yourself and learn everything. So you're going to get the 7-day online business launch course, $599 course, which is also the blueprint that I personally have used for 13 plus years to create my space online. I'm going to teach it to you through this online course. That's $599. You're going to get that free. You're going to get your name in a drawing to work with me for a year. That's a $15,000 value. But everything in this thing is stacked with value. You've got to search it out. You got to make it be about what you're going to do to better yourself. So I'm challenging you to step out, make a move, do something. Nothing is going to come fall in your lap. You got to go get it. On that note, look, I'm going to get ready to get out. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I'm challenging you to do the same. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable remainder of your day and see you soon.